What is up, everybody? Universal Gamers here, and I'm back with a brand new video. And I decided to do something a little bit more casual and fun. My unboxing video, I think I had a lot of fun doing that. I want to make more casual videos like that on the side while I make my reviews, and I hope you guys do enjoy them as I make more. Please do let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Anyway, today's video we're going to be talking about 10 underrated indie games. These are independent games that I believe are underrated. Maybe they're not, maybe I just missed a few good reviews here and there, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about them as much. And so, let's get into it and start talking about them. So we'll start with number 10 on the list. Number 10 is Agatha Knife. Agatha Knife is an adventure game, a classic style, old school 2D adventure game. We plays a little girl named Agatha Knife who is trying to help her mother keep her butcher shop open because Agatha works in the kitchen and she kills all the animals to make the meat, and this place is about to shut down. She needs to find a way to keep the store open so she can keep her cute little animals so she can kill them, eat them, and sell them. And it is a horrifically hilarious game with a very morbid sense of humor. The whole premise, outside of her trying to keep it open, is that she has to create a new religion to make the animals feel better about her killing them, because she, on top of her wanting to help her mother keep the store open, she also wants to make the animals feel better about her killing them, so she doesn't feel bad about eating them, because she likes to do it, she just doesn't want the animals to feel bad about getting murdered. So one half of this game you're trying to create your own religion, and the other half of the game you're trying to keep the store running. And I will say it is a fun-ass game. It's got some fun puzzles here and there. The sense of humor is great. It's a very short game. I think you can beat it in like 4 or 5 hours. And I just loved it from beginning to end. So check out Agatha Knife. Coming up in number 9, we have A Whole New World. This was an early game that I remember seeing on the Nintendo Switch, and it's a classic hardcore side-scrolling platformer with a weapon that arches like those shitty-ass hard games that the angry video game nerd himself would talk about and make a complaint like, oh my god, the weapon arches, this is not how you do it. The main gimmick of this platformer that I think makes it different from the other ones, because it basically is a Mega Man clone but with a medieval setting, and you play as a mage. The difference here is that when you fall down pits, you don't die. As a matter of fact, when you fall through the pits, you go into an upside-down world that is harder than the regular world. And sometimes you have to use that gimmick to get through certain sections of the game. It's not like there's two whole sections, two different levels. Sometimes the game forces you to go down when you could go up. But I think it was very well done, and A Whole New World is a lot of fun, very difficult, very challenging, but in the end, it's absolutely worth checking out, so do not miss A Whole New World. Coming in at number 8 is Mulaka. This is another game. This game was actually promoted heavily for the Nintendo Switch, and by the way, yeah, all the indie games I'm talking about, I did buy on the Nintendo Switch, but you can buy them on other storefronts too. So please look them up if you're interested. Mulaka is a 3-dimensional collectathon platformer action game, mouthful, in the vein of sort of like Banjo-Kazooie, Yooka-Laylee, kind of in that sense, with a little bit of history behind it. You play as this character who goes through the mythical version of their world, and you have to fight monsters, get collectibles, and basically like save the land and all that. Now what's interesting is Mulaka is based on real-life native tribes. It is pretty nice to have a bit of history behind them. But it's not something that you really need to worry about. If you're not interested, you can just skip it. The game has a really nice art style. It's that simple polygonal graphics that a lot of indie games like to use. They're easy to make, cheap to make, and the gameplay is pretty solid. The platforming is nice. The puzzles here and there are okay. The combat is kind of where I draw issue, because the game uses a lock-on system, a forced lock-on system, so you have to lock on to get the fight going. I didn't like that so much. As the game goes on, it gets better and better though, and I honestly think that Mulaka should be a game that you guys check out. It's not the best 3D platform, but I don't see these a lot for indie games, and it's just a damn shame Mulaka was so forgotten after it came out. Coming in at number 7, we have a horror game, Knock Knock. I freaking love this game. Knock Knock is a unique type of horror experience, something I'd never really seen that often. It's basically a psychological horror game in a different sense. I think you're trapped in your mind, that's what they're going for. You're trapped in your mind and you're trying to wake yourself up. So you're going through your house continuously, turning on lights, opening doors, hiding from nightmarish creatures, and there's no, aside from hiding the monsters, there's no real threat that I can think of. And it's just amazing to me how this game can scare you. It just lives, it thrives off its horrific atmosphere. And it's brilliant. Like, going from room to room, turning on lights, sneaking past enemies, trying not to get caught, and hoping beyond hope that you're going to escape this nightmare, each level getting more and more intense. I love it, every bit. Even the art style itself, it's simple, it's you can look at it and be like, that's nice, but it's also creepy. I can't say enough nice things about it. It's really a game that speaks more on its actions than its story, and it's something you really should just play. If you have never played it, check out Knock Knock. Coming in at number 6, Gal Metal. Gal Metal is a very weird ass game where you play as these anime characters, an anime schoolgirl drummer who is battling its squid aliens from outer space trying to take over the world, and you're battling them with heavy metal. Now the difference here between this and a lot of other rhythm games is instead of having a super original soundtrack, the game has song or super licensed soundtrack. You have an original soundtrack and you actually build it with your drums. The game teaches you drum beats that you play, and you use the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons to build the beats, so you do actually hit it like you're hitting a drum, and you time your beats to the sound of the song throughout the entirety of it. So there's no it's not like Guitar Hero or Rock Band where you have these presets, hit it now, you just have to get the timing right and do it yourself. You can also pull it out from the dock and you can play it on the touch screen, and you actually have access to more drums and stuff like that. Though I find it more fun to use the Joy-Cons. It actually feels more like you're hitting a drum set. And there's this whole situation where you can hang out, practice, build your skills up, talk to your friends. There's all that, but the real pull is the soundtrack and the music and to be able to create your own drum loops. I really like that about this game. It's a lot of fun. It may be slightly overpriced for what it is, but in the end, it's a really fun game, and I think a lot more people should check out Gal Metal. Coming in at number 5, we have Anodyne. This game was not on my radar for the longest time, and I only heard that it was coming to Switch through a little YouTube channel called NitroRad. I really love NitroRad's reviews. He does a lot of great work. In fact, I think I mentioned him in my last unboxing video. Sorry for the repetitive shout out. But he reviewed Anodyne, and I said, my god, that game looks interesting. And I'm not going to spoil what's so special about it. All you need to know is, at first, it seems like it's a Legend of Zelda clone, but throughout the entire game, up until the thing that happens, there's something very off about it, and it's a very puzzling game. And by the end, you just cannot believe what you played. It's something so unique, you just have to play it, okay? I'm not going to say anything else, just please check out Anodyne. Coming in at number 4, we have Gunman Clive. Now, this game I bought on the 3DS eShop a long time ago. Gunman Clive was such a cool little game. It's basically a side-scrolling shooter in the vein of Contra, but it has more emphasis on the platforming, I think, than anything else. Which is funny because this team's latest game is a straight-up Contra clone. It's built on more hardcore shooting than it is platforming. Gunman Clive's art style is very nice. It has very simple 3D graphics, but the art style has this kind of brownish tint around everything. So you're side-scrolling from left to right, shooting anything that gets in your way, shooting Indians, cowboys, whatever, and it's just an all-around fun game. The problem with it, I think, is it's a little short. I think the game clocked in at like 45 minutes to an hour long, but for an eShop game that I believe was $5 at the time, or $3 to $5 at the time, I don't know what I should have expected. Gunman Clive right now is on a Gunman Clive collection on the Nintendo Switch. You can get Gunman Clive 1 and 2. They're both great games. I'm just giving the first one a shout out because why not? Absolutely worth picking up. If you like side-scrolling shooters, Gunman Clive is the game for you. Coming in number 3, Steven Universe Saves the Light. Now, you may be asking, why are you recommending a Steven Universe game to me? Do I know anything about Steven Universe? I've seen a few episodes, but I really don't know jack about it. Do I like the show? From what I've seen, it's fine. It doesn't really get in the way. I'm not like a big Steven Universe fan. Why am I recommending this game to you? Because this game is Paper Mario. From the art style to the gameplay. It's like you take Paper Mario and you turned it into a semi-real-time RPG. Because the art style looks similar, it's just painted instead of look like paper. The characters move the same, the combat system is a little different, it's still turn-based, but it built on these things where the characters get close to each other and they're moving. And it's just an awesome RPG. It's a little on the easy side because it's a kid's game, but I still think it's a lot of fun, and there's no reason you shouldn't check it out, especially if you're a big fan of Paper Mario. So please do what you can to get your hands on the Steven Universe game, because just because it's a licensed game doesn't mean it's bad, and that makes it, in fact, it makes it all the more special. Coming in at number 2, Daggerhood. This is a speedrun style side-scrolling platformer where you're able to throw your dagger and teleport yourself to where the dagger was thrown, and it's all about timing. You have to dodge stuff, throw your dagger to kill enemies, throw your dagger to teleport yourself to a certain area, wall jump, do all this crazy stuff to get yourself to the key point of the level in time before it runs out. And also there are items in the game that you have to get within the time limit, and they'll disappear before the timer's even out. So you have to be as fast as humanly possible. This game was made for speedrunners. It's a fun-ass side-scrolling platformer. I think it's only $5 right now. Just get this game. Daggerhood is an awesome game. Coming in at number 1, this is most likely my favorite from all the indie games I mentioned today. This is City of Brass. It's a first-person shooter, or first-person hack and slash would be more appropriate, from some of the developers behind BioShock. This game takes place in an Arabian Nights style city where you pick one of a bunch of characters. They've actually added a bunch of different characters throughout the time this game has been released through a procedurally generated area, looking for loot, weapons, and power-ups to build yourself up to the end of the game. And your basic gist of it is to get to the end, fight the evil genies and wizards and sorcerers and all that, get the big treasure, and escape the City of Brass. And it is just a fantastic first-person action game. One that I'm so surprised few people are talking about to this day. I think it's because it went on early access when it first came out, and it just kind of faded into obscurity. But with all the updates in its final build, I think this game is amazing. The action is smooth. The only thing that I really have a problem with is the fact that your character moves so slow in their initial regular speed. But there are potions you can get to increase your speed, and I honestly think that should have been the regular running speed. But there are cheats you can constantly turn on for more damage, more kills, to make yourself harder, to make the game harder for you. Just all this stuff, and the enemies are pretty varied, from skeletons to evil genies that you can actually wish to make good genies. I wouldn't waste a wish on that. There are wishes that you get in the game. You get 3 wishes, and you can do certain things with these wishes to get items that you like, but you only get 3 of them throughout the game, so you have to choose wisely what you want to do. There's all sorts of power-ups and items that you get throughout the game. You get so many as you go through the game that I couldn't list them all in one go. This would be an insanely long video if I did. Each area that you beat is vastly new. Also, the game is hard as crap, I think, in the beginning. It's a world full of traps that just instantly kill you, and you have to be on the lookout constantly for spiked floors, things that come out of nowhere, holes in the ground. Just watch it. You can also use the enemies to your advantage, and what I like about this is that one of your first weapons for your characters is a whip. So you're whip-lashing enemies. You can actually whip the weapons out of their hands. You can pull them in. You can push them away. You can do all sorts of crazy shit like that. And what's fun about it is you can actually whip things and fly over the enemy's heads. You can actually whip them into traps and kill them that way without wasting any, without risking getting hurt. You can whip treasure towards you so you don't have to go grab it. You can whip potions towards you. And they really utilize this type of weapon as best as they thought they could. I think they got really creative with it. And that's just 2 of the characters. There's a lot of characters that use spears, and they have different loadouts and different types of movement. And it's just a kick-ass game. I really, really love it, and I hope you guys play out of all these games, Pick any of these games from the list, but my personal favorite, spot at the top, was City of Brass. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, something a little bit new. If you did like it and you want me to make more videos like this, please leave it in the comments below and tell me, what are 10 of your underrated indie titles? Please let me know, and maybe I'll include them in my next video. Alright? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Again, remember to like, comment, and all that junk, and subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos, and I will see you next time.